Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I'm your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start the show off the same way we start every episode, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending with us truly does mean the world to me. So thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
How's she cutting me, loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
Now we're back. We got a repeating guest. I love repeating guests. They're great.
Are they your favorite kind of guests?
They're not my favorite type of guests. They're great guests, but they're not my favorite. My favorite, going on record, Tanner, is You're in My Episodes in rank, number one.
Thank you.
Second is people I have no idea who they are, because that's always a good time. So you get number one villain. I'm pretty sure you use a sound effect there.
I'm using them more. They're fun.
Speaking of sound effects, you got the backup sound on?
I do now.
There we go. All right. So anyways, we got a great guest. I love this guy. He's a community advocate. He's doing so much. I'm happy to have him back again. As you know, I don't introduce my guests. I let them do that themselves. So on that note, sir, please reintroduce yourself to the people at home.
Hi, I'm Borrey Kim. I am a runner, and we are putting on, I am the new race director, I guess, for the Wood Buffalo Trail Running Series.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, and thank you for the gift. You brought us both water bottles, old school water bottles.
Yep.
I've had one from back in the day when the Trail Series first came out with them. I think that's going back 8 years now.
2013, I think?
Yeah,
2014?
and they're great water bottles. I still have mine. It's like the perfect water bottle for runners. So thank you very much.
And
now,
people who don't run.
Yeah, and people who don't run, yeah. Now, before we get started, though, on the running and everything else, we were just having a discussion for everybody at home about vans and our love of vans. I love vans, and you own one.
Yes.
But then you dropped a bomb. Your next vehicle is the, drumroll please.
I would like to get a Cybertruck.
Okay, so you want Elon Musk's new Cybertruck.
Yep.
Now, have you put the down payment? Like
I did put down a down
You
payment.
did?
I did, yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay. It's one of those, it's a polarizing vehicle.
For sure.
Like you either, there's no middle ground. You love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I fall into the bracket of, I love it. I like the look of it. And I think he's a genius because if you're going to introduce like an electric truck into a market that's so steep in history, you need to go left. You can't make something.
You got to make something different.
That's right. So tell me what you love about this Cybertruck.
Man, I love the I love electric cars. I think I don't own one, but
Right.
I would love to have one.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is like range anxiety. Obviously, living in Fort McMurray,
That's right.
they should put a charging station in Grassline. I think it'd be great.
They should.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like it's stainless steel, so it won't rust,
That's right.
right? And it'll be big enough for our family and to do overlanding or camping and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much those are the biggest things.
Those are the
right?
biggest things, yeah. And it's just cool.
Yeah.
There's actually a charging station out of all places in
Athabasca.
no.
Oh yeah. There's two here.
In Fort Chip.
Is there?
Yeah. If you go to Fort Chip,
Wow.
there is a charging station by, I don't know if it's a hockey or swim arena, some arena. They have a municipal charging station, which I thought was hilarious because I'm like, who out here is rocking an electric vehicle?
There's two here. No, there's two charging stations here.
Oh, where at?
One in downtown in Franklin.
Okay.
I guess the dealership, supposedly, I've never been, but the dealership at Ford, I think. has one as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Are you gonna throw anything at the window of your truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll throw little marbles.
That's
test it out.
hilarious. I'm neither here nor there on the electrical component with Teslas. Like, if you, from an environmental standpoint, yeah, there's some benefits, and it could be argued there's some negatives. Anyways, that's not it. The reason I want a Tesla is because of the self-driving component.
For sure.
Unbelievable.
That's the selling feature for my wife. I
Yeah.
said like they're like in the off chance
Yeah.
it could end up making you money.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
could, yeah.
100%. So it drives itself. I'm just like, that is insane. But I just watched a video on another electrical truck. It's the Ford F-150. I don't know if you've seen that one yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a truck guy by any stretch of the imagination. I like 4Runners and I like vans.
Yep.
And I love my MG. Big shout out to Ruby. But the the new Ford F-150, when you pop where the engine should be,
That's pretty sweet.
it's just one huge trunk.
Yep.
Like that's a game changer in regards to like most of the time, like you'd need a canopy for a truck, or if you had groceries, you're putting it in the back. Like you're really,
Yeah.
but to have a trunk in the front,
You could fit like 2 more people in there.
oh, dude! Like the video I watched, they fit comfortably 2 sets of golf clubs in the front of that truck.
Well, you know what's I saw was it actually has a drain, like a
That's
drain
right.
thing at the front, so you
Yep.
could like just use it as like a
cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Throw some ice in there.
And then I don't know if the Cybertruck does the same thing, but the F-150 can power your house for like 3 days in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Like,
So the one
nuts.
thing is, I think you'll need like a special charging thing. So,
100%.
yeah, but
100%. That's cool.
Yeah, I think it's,
Like, not as cool as having a bulletproof truck like the Cybertruck, but
But is it bulletproof?
well, like
that's what they say.
they'll put it to the test.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's a cool truck. I think that's like he's a marketing genius. There's no doubt
Oh, yeah.
about that. And the look of that vehicle, I think, is just a great marketing play.
When are you set to get yours?
I'm like, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping like way down the line.
Yeah.
So I think there's like almost like over a million and almost 1.5 million, I think now, or pre-orders.
Yeah.
Obviously not everybody's gonna get one.
That's
but
right. That's right.
I'm just kind of hoping that it's far away enough that, you know,
Yeah.
it'll work in my
That's right.
in
Yeah,
my
yeah.
price,
Yeah.
you know, my savings and you
You'll
know.
have enough money to
Yeah.
get it when it comes out for release. Yeah, they're cool trucks, man. Like, I can't wait to start seeing them on the road. But the electrical vehicle market's a bit of a conundrum in regards to they don't have enough stations. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the infrastructure just isn't there like it is for gas-powered vehicles.
Or-
Yeah. So there's a show. Check it out. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I don't know if I have one of the books here. Ewan McGregor and his buddy Charlie get on motorcycles, and it's the first series is called Long Way Round. The second series is called Long Way Down, and the last one that they just released is called Long Way Up. So what they do is they just get on motorcycles and they ride literally around the world. Like they started in England, went through Russia, went through Alaska, and ended up in New York on the first one. The second one was from England down to Cape Town, Africa. And this one, they went from the South Pole and came up to California.
Cool.
And but this one, what they decided to do is do it on electrical bikes, on Harley electrical bikes. And the obstacles that they ran into were like, because the technology isn't like totally there yet and the infrastructure isn't there. So it was interesting to see, like, they really wanted to do this, however, and they were able to do it, but it was not easy, not because of the traditional traveling component, but because charging. And like, sometimes it gets too cold and they don't work, or the chargers aren't there. And what I thought was very comical was sometimes they needed a boost because they were just in the middle of nowhere and they needed a boost. So they would get a diesel engine, like somebody would come with like a generator, and it was diesel powered to charge the electrical vehicles. I'm like, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
The other thing is they have instant torque.
yeah. Oh, dude.
Yeah.
You shoot like
So
a
you
rocket.
go. Yeah.
I would love to go to see one of those electrical F1 races, because those F1 cars.
They're it's not F1.
Yeah, what's it called?
It's
E1.
called E1.
E1. That's right. Because those, it's not even up for discussion anymore. Like those electrical cars take off and accelerate dramatically faster than your typical gas engine.
Did you hear about the new races, like F1 style races that are coming up with autonomous cars?
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah.
Fill me in. I've never heard of this.
Yeah. Well, no drivers. This is like, it's programmed in. So you program your race vehicle and then it goes out and races.
What?
You just program the track into the car, and then you make the car as aerodynamic as possible, and then you send the car out.
What?
And you watch.
When is that happening?
I think it's already starting to happen. Like, I think they might be...
I think so, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see. Wow. I know I've never heard of that. We're going to have to YouTube that as soon as this show is done.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
All right. Okay, so off the car topic, let's talk about traditional modes of transportation. Your feet.
Yes.
The most traditional.
Yeah. So let's hear about what races are coming up, what's going on. You got a new position. Fill us in about what's going on there.
Well, I mean, we had great people that started the trail running series. I think it was 2013.
Yes.
So we had the Witchers and the Middletons.
That's right.
They
That's
got
correct.
together and,
Yep.
you know, they wanted to push out because they went to a few races in Alberta
Yeah. Yeah.
and they loved it so much.
Yeah.
They wanted to bring it here.
Right.
And so yeah, I started to help out with them. I can't remember when, but yeah, I was just helping out wherever they needed.
That's right.
Maybe on some of the technical stuff, technology side and stuff.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, they both ended up moving
Yeah.
out of town.
They both live in Calgary now, correct?
Okotoks and Calgary,
Yeah.
around there. Yeah, around that area.
Yep.
So, but so yeah, there was a hole to fill, and so
Nice.
I stepped in, and you know, we're trying to get it off the ground. Obviously, there was a pandemic and everything like that.
That's right.
So, so yeah, we
Trying
still
to raise profile again of it.
yeah.
So I remember when they first started because I actually was a part of it in regards they came to the company that I work for. I don't know how it all happened, how it all transpired, but they came to Acuren and I was their HR manager. And so they asked for some money and I gave them the money. And we gave them like a lot of volunteers. I remember the volunteers that we used to send down through like RAT was the company, Tactin now, and Acuren. We sent a lot of volunteers. So when we first did it, when the first trail series came out, there was 3 races. You had the one in the trails, Birchwood Trails. You had the one in Gregoire. And then we were pretty ambitious, and there was one at the ski hill.
Yep.
That was a deadly one. I did not like that one at all. That was tough. So how many races are you thinking of? What are the locations? What's going on?
I think 3. Like we would like to make it a series.
That's right.
Obviously, this year we're starting late because of the pandemic.
That's right.
So we're just going to put on 1 race.
Okay.
And we're going to see if we could start rolling out 3, and then
Okay.
we'll go from there.
So where's the first race? Birchwood
So,
Trails?
so yeah, this year
Yeah.
we're just doing the 1 race. It'll be in Birchwood Bender. Yeah.
Okay. And what date?
So October 2nd, Saturday.
Okay, before you leave, we need to talk about that. Like, I'll help you blow this up. Like, let's make this a big deal. I'd love
Sure.
to.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great.
So August.
No. Yeah, October. Yeah,
October,
so-
sorry, October. Okay, so we got like a month and a half away.
I guess you could say that you're going to take it and run with it.
Ah, there you go. Zing, zing. Okay, sweet. So you got one going on. What are the distances that you're going to put into this?
So I'm going with the traditional 1 loop or 2 loop.
Okay,
So sport is 1 loop, enduro is 2 loops.
right.
We're finalizing the course, so
Yeah.
it'll probably be around 6 kilometers
That's
ish.
right.
So
Yeah, 6 and
obviously
12.
it's trail. Yeah.
6 and
So
12.
maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, depending on the route.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. I love it. And that's a good time because everybody who was training for, I don't know what it's called. It used to be called the Mayor's Marathon, Mayor's 10K.
Marathon.
It's happening. Like Toyota sponsors it now.
Yeah. The Mac Island Marathon.
Yeah, the Mac Island Marathon.
That is in September
September.
20.
Yeah. So everybody who has trained for that will be definitely in great physical condition to
Yeah.
run in yours.
Run into the trails.
There you go. I like if I got to pick, which I don't pick anymore. There's 3 options. You can run on road, trails, or your treadmill. I pick treadmill. But if you got to go second place, trails is the way to do it. It's nice. It's comfy on your feet.
It's a different race, right? It's like being on the trails. Like I find on the road, you could be a lot more on the treadmill, you could be a lot more diligent. You could be like, this is the pace I want to go.
That's
this
right.
is, but then in the trails, you're on different soils.
Yeah.
Obviously the elevation
That's
usually
right.
changes a lot. So you're
That's
just
right.
kind of like, you're more there just
Yeah.
to be in the woods and run
Yeah.
and, take it as it comes, right?
That's right. And I find I run faster just because I'm terrified of wildlife. So I'm just like, let's get out of these woods quick. So I like my times in the trails obviously are not as fast as straight pavement, but I feel like I put more into it. I definitely put more into it. All right. So we're at the part of the show, Tanner segment called the Mac City Minute. Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Alrighty, question number 1 for you. What is one run around the world that you would want to do?
There is one in Alaska called Mount Marathon.
Okay.
It is really hard to get into, and it's it's about a 3-mile race.
Yeah.
And I would almost say 1 mile of it is on pavement. 1 mile of it, you're climbing pretty much just straight up a mountain.
Okay.
Or almost half, I guess half a mile, you go up and then back down.
Oh, geez.
And then you finish with the last mile on the road again.
Wow.
And so it's like 5K and just
Yeah.
aroundish, right?
But up.
So like the fastest, like they're scrambling up this shale rock, right?
Yeah.
And like the fastest people, like professionals, they're coming out like 45 minutes.
What?
Yeah. So you're, like these are like the elite. But you know what? Like a lot of the locals there,
Yeah.
they crush it. Like Alaska's got some real good talent for like endurance sports out there.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's a different one, right? Obviously, there's other races. There's 100-milers, 200-milers, and stuff like that. And you know, there's some iconic ones, but that one kind of intrigues me.
Yeah. No doubt. Cool.
Question number 2. What is one aspect of your new job that you were not expecting?
I don't know. I guess I'm so new at it. I'm just kind of getting into it, getting my feet wet.
Yeah.
We'll see. I guess. I guess I don't know what I don't know. So
There you go.
that's the biggest fear I have, right? I'm like, I'm trying to put this on. I'm like, I hope I have everything in place, and I'm, you know, just kind of trying to get everything set up, and you know, cross your fingers. I think one of the hardest things is, especially this year, people aren't sure, like especially with the Delta variant coming up and stuff like that. They're apprehensive to sign up. So
That's right.
I don't really know how many people are going to come out to the race.
That's right.
So we're just kind of like, so if you want to sign up early.
Yeah.
You know what? I might even throw in a special draw prize for the first half the people that enter. So on the day of the race, if you're out there and you entered in the top half of the first top half of the people that entered, I'll throw in an extra draw prize that we'll draw from.
That's a good idea.
Question number 3. If you could own one vehicle from any time, what would that be?
I don't know. The car of the future, whatever that is.
Yeah.
It's like,
There you go.
Question number 4. What's the craziest thing you've witnessed on a run?
the craziest thing I witnessed. I don't know. I've seen a lot of things. I mean, like, obviously there's bears.
Yeah, I know. Terrifying.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the first story about like?
No, let's hear it.
We'll hear it. We'll hear it at the end of the questions.
Okay.
But, yeah, the first story of the first time I got lost in the woods.
Yeah.
I'll throw that in afterwards. But yeah, bears. I see. You know what are the worst are the grouse.
Yeah.
Because in the winter you're running in the dark, and then they just hide there and they're quiet.
That's right.
And then right when you're right by them, they go. And they just like take off and gives you a heart attack every time.
And your final question, what is one thing you do to come down from your runner's high and relax after a good run?
Food.
What kind of food?
And like depends on like how hard and like how long, but like greasy, give me food. Just
Yeah.
And those have been your 5 questions.
Okay, let's hear about the first bear encounter you had.
Well, so the first bear count here, right,
Yeah.
in Fort McMurray. So when I started off doing triathlon, so I was doing a lot more like, pedestrian trails or like pavement, right?
That's right.
And then I think maybe 2014, 2015, I started doing a little bit more trail stuff. And there's a few people that go out super early in the morning. Like weekdays, they're out 3 a.m. Weekends, because it's their late mornings, they're out like 5:30.
Right.
And I used to join them for 5:30 in the morning on the weekends.
Right.
And they did a lot of the fisheries because that's where they lived.
Yeah.
So I followed them for a lot of them, for a few of their runs, and I felt comfortable. Like in my head, I thought I knew where I was in the fisheries.
Right.
And one evening during the summer,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, like I know the fisheries. I'll go out there and I'll go for my run, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, the fisheries loop is about 9 kilometers ish.
Yeah.
So I was looking to do about 10 kilometers. So I was kind of going through, and I was getting close. So I was starting to head back, and then I run across, and a bear bolts, right? Like just bolts off, right?
Yeah.
And that's common behavior. They run, and I'm like,
That's right.
that's pretty cool. That's the first bear I saw in Fort McMurray, right?
Yeah.
And then I think I might even like put it on Facebook. It was like, oh, I just saw a bear. Like,
Yeah.
what's up, right? And then I kept on running, and then all of a sudden, I'm like a little bit confused, and I'm like, I came to the same spot, and I saw the same bear.
Oh,
This
no.
time, the bear climbed up a tree.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, less cool because now the bear probably thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm like, okay, like, I don't know what happened. I'm just going to keep on going. I'll get out of here.
Yeah.
You know. And then I think I might have, at that point, even just said like, oh, haha, I'm lost in the woods.
Yeah.
And then I kept on running. And I just put away my phone, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think I started around like maybe 8 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah.
Right. So now we're kind of getting to like, 9, 10, well, no, probably about, 10 o'clock. Right.
Yeah.
So like the sun's starting to come down.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting a little bit more nervous because I was supposed to be out there just for an hour. And like,
That's right.
I didn't even bring my headlamp,
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, let's cut. And then before I started running, and I ended up pretty much around the same place. I'm like, I do not want to see this bear the third time, just
That's
because
right.
I'm like, the bear's totally gonna get used to like,
That's right.
it's the same idiot.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So yeah, then I was like, okay, like, so I ended up texting my wife. I'm like, oh, I'm lost. And then she didn't know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll call Kim.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't have his number.
Yeah.
So I'm on Facebook. I do they just had like the Facebook FaceTime that came out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly when, but I've never really used it.
That's right.
So I like tried to FaceTime him.
Yeah.
And then I guess his iPod Touch.
Yeah.
His iPod Touch rang, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, what is this?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Hey, Kim, sorry. Like, it's like now like 11 o'clock. I
Oh,
feel horrible."
no.
I'm like, I'm like, okay. So one thing is, so the golf course,
Yeah.
they have their lights on, right? So I was
Right.
like bare minimum, I could like bushwhack my way to the golf course, but I'm like,
Okay.
I don't really want to go like wandering off
Yeah.
off the trails, right?
That's
I'm
right.
just kind of like, so yeah. He came out and rescued me. It was great. He was wonderful.
Christ. That's crazy, man.
But yeah,
That's why I stick to my treadmill.
no, come out with us.
That's why I stick to my treadmill. Man. Bears and Lost in the Woods.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to convince him to come out right after you tell that story.
Yeah.
I heard you were out down by the Abisan Historic.
I
like, just the other
did.
day.
Yeah. It was awesome. It's beautiful. I'll walk through the trails and stuff, but that day, this is like why I don't like to spend too much time there. As we were going down, there's like bear poop and it's fresh, and you're just like, man. And so I'm just, okay, if I do encounter a bear, like where am I going? And then when you find yourself, because that's a pretty steep hill, like that bear is running up that hill faster than I am, and like you find yourself in situations where you're just like, you just have to like. In nature, you're just like, if something goes down and I'm down here, I ain't getting out of here.
Bear spray.
Yeah, I don't got it. But like, yeah, I guess I could. Like that, but does it really work? Or does it just
I think
annoy the bear?
First thing I'll say is like, I think it's encounters, like violent encounters with wildlife is like really,
It's really rare.
really rare.
Really rare. Yeah.
Right. And then bear spray is a very good deterrent. Right.
That's right. So, yeah, man, I don't know. I'll definitely come and volunteer and help you out with trail series race that you got going on. And I do like to go through the Birchwood trails. I grew up going through them. And I know we're running out of time, but like I remember when I got lost first time in the Birchwood trails, like that, I think I was like 9. It was horrifying. Luckily, I was with my buddies and it was winter and we used to go GTing in the trails. So we had like our soup and chocolate milk and snacks and stuff, but like same kind of 8 in the morning. And you're supposed to be home at 5 and you're looking, you're just like, oh, it's 7 and I don't know where I'm at. And you're just like, I got grounded, but shame on my parents for that. I was terrified. I didn't mean to come home that late, but woods, it's a big deal. Like you can really get lost even in the groomed trails.
Yeah.
So yeah, note to people who are going in the trails, like pay attention to those maps before you go in. Like,
oh, and the bolts, those little bolts are the,
That's
not like clear, like evident when the first time you look at the map.
That's
but,
right. That's right.
On those maps, there's a little like a nut or a
That's
bolt.
right.
And that's,
Pay attention. There you go.
that's-
Well, I know we're over time, so we're gonna How far are we over?
About 4 minutes.
Oh, that's not that bad. We've done way worse than that. So before I cut you loose, though, let's. It's the end of the show. Shameless plug, shout outs. The microphone's all yours.
Yeah. Shout out the team that came before us, and yeah, we're gonna put on the race October 2nd. It'll be fun. There'll be lots of. Again, I'm working on getting lots of prizes. It's $20, so that's the whole idea. You know, keep it somewhat affordable, and just kind of get people outside.
Yeah, there we go. All right, well, definitely come back before the race. Send your volunteers. Try to get as many people to promote this as possible. Right. Definitely, and I'll help you out as much as I can as well.
Sweet. Okay,
well, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world, on that note, that's been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. Peace.
Bye.